Well, for more on this story, I'm joined now by NBC's Waj Khan. Good morning, Waj. You were in Islamabad yesterday. What did you see there when you were there?
Good morning, Belle. Well, Islamabad was bracing for impact just around the time this judgment was coming through. The crackdown, if you want to call it, on communication services was starting. Cell phone signals were being cut off all over the country. Cordons were being set up on around the major cities. There was increased activity on social media by both the Pakistani left and the Pakistani right. The Pakistani right is very organized. And from mainstream media was given alerts not to cover the protests and not to cover the anti-Asia Bibi component, primarily conservative factions of Pakistan's hardcore religious right, and not to give them any mainstream media coverage. Despite of that, we saw protests erupt all over the country. Down south in Karachi, Pakistan's biggest megacity, cell phone signals were cut off. We saw a protest in Lahore, the political heartland of Pakistan, and up in the north as well. Major arteries and motorways were cut off as well. So all of this unraveled within hours of the judgment yesterday morning.
And Waj, what we're seeing here is expose the deep divisions within Pakistan about these blasphemy laws. Do you think there's going to be any change to those laws?
I think Pakistan prides itself as the only country in the world, Islamic country in the world, to have been found strictly on theological bases. And that's what the Prime Minister, who has been recently elected, Imran Khan, and who's always been the ire of and the target of Pakistan's left, that's what he said yesterday, that we stand for progressive Islamic values, and that though this decision might not make everyone happy, it is a constitutionally sound decision. And Pakistan remains split, Belle. At this point, there's never been, at least in my memory, call to arms against serving chief justices and judges of the Supreme Court. There's never been an appeal to the military to rise up and attack and counter the directives of the army chief, the most powerful man in the country, or the prime minister. So at this point, a divided country gets more divided. Unfortunately, that's the reality in Pakistan this morning.
And Waj, very quickly, what about Asia Bibi, the woman at the centre of all this? What now for her?
Her location remains unknown. She will be presumably well guarded. Her children will be protected. Her lawyer has spoken up and has already for years now received threats. So it's really going to be, the onus is going to be on the Pakistani state to protect this woman. Previous Christians and human rights activists have been targeted. Even politicians have been targeted who have defended her. So clearly there's challenges for her protection at stake here.